to become a pharmacy tech. I'm going to let her elaborate on this, how to get started and register. As you can see, the program is Pharmacy Tech. The team is led by the dynamic individual, Miss Elizabeth Johnson. You can read her information later, ladies and gentlemen. I'm excited to have her today. And cousin, bring her up. Miss Johnson, welcome. How are you today?
I am doing well. Thank you. Thank you for having me. How are you?
I am fan-doggone-tastic. That's what I'm doing. Look at
That's
here.
good.
I met you some time ago last year at an event where Miss Ashby got some entrepreneurs together, and she was gracious enough to invite me to come as well. And that's where I met you and your partner, and you told me about your business, and I was so excited. I said, man, I got to have this lady to come on and talk about her business. So, Miss Johnson, tell us about you.
Okay, my name is Elizabeth Johnson. I am a Charleston native, born and raised in Mount Pleasant, South Carolina. I was educated, I should say I graduated from Wando High School, furthered my education at College of Charleston. Life events happened. I ended up getting pregnant again, so I ended up dropping out. At that time, I had 2 kids, so I know I needed some type of career. So I ended up going to Beta Tech. It was a new technical school in Charleston for medical assistant, actually. So I went there and I graduated from Beta Tech. Eventually, I ended up going back to school and I graduated from Strayer in 2011 with my associates in business. I have 2 beautiful children, Ashton and Daquan, and I have 3 beautiful grandbabies. I have 2 baby girls and a grandson. I have Grayson, I have Ava and Jordan, and I have an extensive family. It's a huge family out of Mount Pleasant.
Oh my goodness. Sounds to me like you're well connected.
Very well connected. Great support team. Great
All
support
right.
team.
All right. How did you decide to go into business?
Well, life happened. So, in December, the beginning of December of 2018, unfortunately, the previous job I had decided to close the entire school. So we were left 3 weeks before Christmas without a job. And all of a sudden I was out of a career. So I was teaching for about 9 years, and then I was promoted to the program director of the Pharm Tech program. So I was teaching pharmacy tech for about 9 years. And then my last year there, I was promoted. And then unfortunately, the business shut down on us unexpectedly. At that time, I did not know what I wanted to do. And I've toiled with the idea all of 2019 of starting my own Pharm Tech business. But I was crushed by the closing of the school. I love my students. I love what I did. So I kind of just took some time to figure out life, because I had to figure out life again. And then the pandemic happened. So I was just toying with the idea all year. And I was like, I want to do this. I want to do this. I know I have the skills to do it. I know I can do it. And I mentioned it to a family member and a friend, and they were like, do it. We really believe in you. We know you can do it. And that's how I launched Focus First Training Center, just because I just wanted to give back. I wanted to continue to educate future pharmacy technicians, and I know I could do it. So that was my drive and my motivation.
Okay, now you knew you could do it. Your family and friends and supporters also believed in you and know that you could do it as well. What do you think were the factors that made you know for a fact that you were now ready to start your business? In other words, what prepared you to start your business?
Teaching.
Right.
So I already had that experience teaching. I already had that experience of already running the program, being the program director. I have a 22-year history as a certified pharmacy tech, so I have tenure in the field. I know the field in and out, and that prepared me mentally to be able to teach and be able to relay the information. But what really prepared me for going into business myself was the idea of, I know I can do it. Let me see how. So I actually reached out to my former dean and I told her, this is what I would love to do. I want to start my own business. I have all the materials that you told me I could take from the school, so I can go off of this for my demo, but I needed a business plan. So I needed a business plan and I needed to put some ideas on paper. So my previous dean, she got me in contact with a coworker, and my coworker, she had just started her business, so she in return helped me start mine with a business plan. So she gave me the business plan, and she was like, "Here you go, edit it to your needs," and I did. And then I started my business. It wasn't easy because you have to mentally prepare for the business. You have to have the finances to go into the business because it's a startup. And it was me doing this in the height of a pandemic after losing my job and rebuilding my life. At that time, I was going through not only losing my job, out of the blue, like laid off. That's the worst feeling in the world. If you've never been laid off, it's not one of the best feelings. You want to go into work and, you're told, you have 3 more days at work, especially before the holidays. So with being laid off, I was going through a divorce at that time, like a separation. So it was a mixture of losing my job, trying to figure out where life was going to take me, going through a separation, my daughter in college, her deciding to get married, moving. Life was just kind of crazy at that time. Plus rebuilding my finances. Because when I lost my job, I kind of like just got a part-time job for months and, I depleted my savings, but I knew that I could do this. So that meant making a budget, sticking to the budget, and just really sticking to the budget. That's the main thing I want to tell you. Stick to your budget. Don't go outside of that budget. Make that business plan, because that's going to help you, because that's going to lay out like what exactly you needed for the business. Like me, I was doing it virtually. So my school is virtual. We don't go in. So there's not like going in and doing hands on with the students. So I had to go out and do the resources to find, how do I get all the information that I can teach hands-on labs from a student's home. So I had to buy that material and prepare myself and go through the lesson and the lecture to prepare myself to be able to explain it to the students at being at home without actually being able to touch them and actually show them in person. It's different when you're doing things online. So, and then I had to prepare just, for the business aspects. I'm doing everything at home. So I needed to buy a new printer, had to buy a new monitor, a new computer, had to get all the lighting and everything for home. So it's not easy starting your own business, but if you have a business plan and you're level headed and you're dedicated and you have a very strict budget that you stick by, it's possible.
Well, I tell you what, I mean, you just laid out how to start a business and also specifically how to start an online school. So, but here's what I'm going to say. When people start businesses, there are various reasons why they do. And it's, as I've mentioned before, one, they've retired from a business and now they decide they want to do my own. Or they quit that business and decided they wanted to do their own. You have mothers whose children are now adult and gone from the home. And so the mother decides, you know what? I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to start me a business. And then, of course, the dreaded is that you find out a couple of days before the holiday that the business you're working in is going to shut down and you no longer have a job. So in your case, of course, it sounds to me like it was that you guys came to work and found out that you were about to be out of a job. And of course, being the resourceful person that you are, you pondered and then decided what was going to be your course of action. And that was, of course, to start a business. Does that sound about a brief summation of how it went for you to start, of course, Focus First Training Center?
That's perfect, Mr. Goodman. That's exactly how it happened. It was the job loss, wanting to continue in a field that I absolutely love. I love teaching. I love educating. I thrive on helping women, especially young mothers who have been in my situation where they have children and they can't go to a conventional college, like College of Charleston. You know, I got pregnant for the second time and I was 21 with 2 kids, and I know that I needed an education in order to support them. But at that moment, I knew that I could not continue a traditional school, and some people can. You know, I did have a support system, but at that time, I needed something that I can get that wasn't going to take 4 years to be able to support my children. So the drive and the motivation really behind me continuing and wanting to start this business is to help others. I'm not going to exclude the males because definitely males are welcome, but my heart and my passion is women, especially young women or older women, whoever sees their self and me. I want them to know that they can do exactly what I've done. They can put their bootstrap on and they can work to get where I've gotten. And that's what I tell them. I'm like, this is a starting point. I always let them know everything is a starting point, and you gain as much as you can now so you can live the life that you want to live later. And that's the motto that I live by. Like, let's get it now. Let's start from the bottom. We're not always going to be here, but it's a starting point.
All right. Well, look at here. Let's jump into and cousin, bring up this website so people can see. What I want you to understand, ladies and gentlemen, is that she teaches pharmacy tech. And as you can see from the picture, hey, she's for real and not playing around. As you can see, these students are engaged. But here's what I also want you to understand is that, as she said before, it's virtual learning, and she emphasized that her class sizes are small. So, Ms. Johnson, tell us why you decided, once again, you mentioned it briefly, but please go back and refocus and reinforce. Why was it virtual, and why are your class sizes small?
Okay. The virtual learning came about due to COVID-19. So we were in the height of the pandemic when I launched Focus First. Well, we were coming somewhat out of the pandemic when I launched Focus First Training Center. But when I started putting everything together in the business plan and about, getting the website and getting all the getting the business prepared, we were in the height of the pandemic. So at that time, we weren't doing a lot of face-to-face contact with anyone. So I decided that I would do it virtually, do a virtual learning where the students can be in the comfort of their own home and still get the education to become a certified pharmacy technician. I decided smaller class because students learn differently. And I like a smaller environment because I can have more one-on-one with a student that may be struggling in calculations, or a student that does not quite understand pharmacology. The smaller class size is beneficial for the students because they get to know each other and they can lean on each other, especially virtually. You would think that, oh my God, it's virtual. We don't get to see our classmates in person. How can I do a study group, or how can I study? But it's far from that. I've seen them get together. I've seen them piggyback on our virtual learning, helping each other out, just by being virtual and having a small class size, they bond. And I tell them, I said, this is your partner for the next 12 weeks. Get to know them, exchange numbers, be comfortable talking to your classmate. And it works. It really does.
Now, I've noticed from the site, but I'll let you tell us, where do you have students at and what different states?
So we have various different states that we've launched in, and we're in South Carolina, North Carolina. I can't remember everything on the website. Virginia. We've had people reached out from New Jersey, but primarily right now, all of our students are from South Carolina. I have been advertising in other states, but not as much as I've been doing strictly in Charleston. But I've relocated recently. Today makes a week to Pennsylvania, and I am hoping to now base Focus First Training Center out of my new home in Pennsylvania. So then we're going to reach out to the other regions, but right now we're primarily focused in South Carolina. We do have other students reaching out, but they reach out and just inquire. So right now we're in South Carolina primarily.
Okay, well, time is rolling and I know you have things to do. So as we begin to conclude our talk, where do you see the future of the Focus First Training Center going?
Well, I would like to expand Focus First Training Center to be a brick and mortar in about 5 to 6 states. Hopefully we can get in all 50. But right now I'm looking to open a brick and mortar here in Pennsylvania and then expand to a couple different cities in Pennsylvania and then eventually roll out a brick and mortar in a couple more states. There is a need for pharm techs. There's definitely a shortage right now of pharmacy techs. So hopefully within the near future, we can see about 5 or 6 schools popping up. So be on the lookout.
Okay, so now as we begin to wind down, what is it that you would to say to a young entrepreneur you see as important things that they need to consider before starting their business?
One, consider the need. Is there a need for the business? Consider your audience. Who are you going to advertise to? Not everybody wants or need your product. So first of all, make sure there's a need for the business. Find your target audience, make a budget and a business plan. If you want a brick and mortar, search out your location, especially what is the need. So where are you going to put it, or the location, and then apply with the Secretary of State, and then go from there and just launch. But make sure make sure you see if there's a need. That's the most important thing.
All right. Well, before we let you go, how do we contact you, Ms. Johnson?
Yes. How do you contact me? Well, if you're a phone person, you can definitely give me a phone call at 843-970-0691. We're waiting to hear from you. If you're not a phone person, or if you just want to send us a quick message to let us know you're interested in attending one of the training classes that's coming up, you could reach us at focusfirsttc.com, and that's our website. That is focusfirsttc.com, and you could put the www if you would like to, but that would bring up our website, which is focusfirstttrainingcenter.com, but it's just focusfirsttc.com.
That phone number again, please.
It's 843-970-0691.
Facebook, social media.
So yes, you can find us on Facebook and Instagram at Focus First Training Center. And like our page, go look at our page, like it, and you can send messages to me on both Facebook and Instagram. If you would like, you can go from our website and also send us a message on Facebook and Instagram.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, as you can see and just heard, Miss Elizabeth Johnson know what the hell she's talking about, and now you're informed. So I'm going to let her go because she has schools to open, she has students to train, and she has that lesson to prepare for. All right, Ms. Johnson, we're going to contact you again because there's a lot more I wanted to talk to you about, but time got away from us this time. So certainly I hope you give us an opportunity to come back and give us some more knowledge.
Most definitely.
All right. Thank you and have a super day, okay?
Thank you. Thank you for having me. You do the same.
All right. Cousin, look at here. Take us out of here.